Well, I've got the parts. When we last left our last engineer, he was still armless, but I have picked up these pieces, and we have Overkill's right arm primed with grey primer and a reproduction bat hand. And this is a nice little reproduction. It is the same pretty much as the official bat hand here, except the plastic is, this 3D printed plastic, so it's a bit more matte. I have painted it, but that's the natural color underneath that you can kind of see there. It's just more of a gray, less of a silver. The size is good, only a little bit of flash to trim off, in case you're in the market for a repro hand. That's basically what it looks like. Sorry I didn't get a shot of it before I primed it. However, I have, my worst fear was realized, and my worst fear isn't that bad, but the peg is a different size from the bat to Overkill. Overkill has a fatter peg than the bat, which means that this repro hand will fit fine on the bat, but not on the Overkill arm. So I did try to hollow it out with a knife, but it's still not quite fitting on there. I could shave more, but I think I'm just going to cut the peg off, because I don't need this hand to be detachable. It's going to be on all the time. So I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to glue it, and then I'm going to paint it. And then I'm going to show you. I'll just hollow out a bit of this. Carve a bit more of this out. And we'll just get rid of this peg. Don't need it. I'll leave a little bit on there. There we go. That's just a bit of a guide for me. Yeah. Okay, so I've cut the peg off. It is a longer forearm than the bat. You can see the peg starts where the bat's peg ends, so that would have had his arm too long. I guess Overkill's just a hand, not a forearm that attaches. So I've sliced this just above the wrist, cut the peg off. We'll paint this with our Mithril. Sorry, I've been watching Rings of Power. I'm really sorry I've been watching Rings of Power. Ugh. And yeah, let's get painting. Okay, we are ready. Let's take the arm off the arm. A little bit of tape here so that they don't get paint on the joint. Just loosen a little bit. Should be able to plug this right in. Now it is slightly longer because I was not careful enough of getting the length right, and I should have cut off a little bit more of the bat hand. But hopefully no one will notice while they're admiring my GoBot collection here. I feel like I need to paint the other arm now so it matches. There we go. Yeah, you can, darn, you can tell. You can tell it's too long. Alright, and there's our last engineer, all completed now. I did fix the arm, I just broke the hand off, chopped a bit more off of it, the bat part, because that's easier to cut than the arm, and glued it back on, and it's now the correct length, I think. And instead of this cyanoacrylate glue, this time I used epoxy, because I'm finding that the CA glue doesn't work very well on ABS plastic like G.I. Joe's and the Stormtrooper armor I was working on recently. So that's done, and yeah, just fixed up the paint a little bit. Tried a different shade on this sleeve, but that's worse, so I'll just leave it like that, I guess. And I think that's it. So just a quick follow-up video. I didn't want to leave it, without an arm on my last engineer. And I didn't make any changes to Master Renegade. I think he's fine as is. So that's it.